Mr. Lloyd Doggett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Originally, I had really hoped that the Department of Government Efficiency cared about efficiency. But as with everything around Trump, it only cared about showmanship, not careful performance audits, but slash and burn destruction, where success would be measured by the body count of federal employees. Like a bizarre episode of The Apprentice, where you could say you're fired to public servants who served our country for decades. The hope that we would have efficiency was something that was totally lost in the "we found fraud" headlines, and yet DOGE failed to present one single case of actionable fraud for prosecution in this country. And of course, about 2 months ago, the DOGE success was so gigantic, so immense, that we were told that taxpayers all over this country would be getting a check, a dividend, a rebate from the DOGE savings. But of course, that claim vanished just as quickly as Elon Musk claims that he was going to have $2 trillion of savings. He cut it himself to $1 trillion, and the DOGE website has said it's down to 1/10 of his original claim at $180 billion. Still a significant amount of savings, though the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative organization, has found that claim is inconceivable, and that the DOGE savings, according to other groups, may actually be exceeded by the cost of DOGE. What about government efficiency? Instead of making our government smarter and more efficient for the American people, they took a wrecking ball to the Federal Aviation Administration, the Social Security Administration, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, even AmeriCorps and the Park Service. DOGE has impaired the ability of our government to provide the people of America the services that they deserve. Take the Social Security Administration. It is down to an incredible level of service at levels that haven't been experienced in many years, and seniors and those with disabilities cannot get the services that they deserve. The Internal Revenue Service and the permissive Republican attitude to tax sheets. IRS audits, auditors down 1/3 of their workforce, back to 1950s level. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates that these cuts will lead to a loss of $300 billion over the next 10 years. And this week, the Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee summed up the cost of President Trump's permissive attitude to crime. He seems to love some criminals. The total cost of his pardons to victims and taxpayers, $1.3 billion in restitution and fines that were owed. One of the great examples touches on the area we're talking about today, nursing home fraud. We have a fellow down in Florida who took the payroll taxes of his employees and he decided to use them to buy a yacht and some other things. For a judgment that he'd go to jail and he'd pay $4 million in restitution, but it was a better deal for his mom to give $1 million to the Trump campaign and get him off scot-free. Even DOGE itself, in the form of the artificial intelligence chatbot that Elon Musk set up, it analyzed the DOGE attacks on the Government Accountability Office, to which you referred, Mr. Chairman, in your opening statement, and pointed out that it saved $123 for every dollar that's been spent at the GAO. And so what's the Republican response? Cut the GAO's budget by almost half. The DOGE AI bot concluded House Republicans pushing a 48% cut to GAO's budget is like firing the watchdog because it barks at thieves. For once, the bot got it right. Now, there's some big savings that can be achieved, and they run into the hundreds of billions of dollars. But there's only one problem. You have to take on some special interest with a lobby, a limousine, and a big campaign finance fund. I have introduced multiple bills to attack provider fraud in Medicare, something that hasn't come up much today, and in Medicaid. It doesn't take outlandish claims about 350-year-old recipients like the president made in his incredible comments to the Congress. It takes having the guts to stand up to those special interests. And a bill that I introduced this week that actually did have some courageous Republicans join it would save $350 billion by not letting Medicare Advantage take premiums while the Veterans Administration provides all the care. Twice the savings that DOGE itself claims that it achieved. We need to do the hard work, particularly focus on provider fraud, provider inefficiency, and waste. That will be much more effective than what's been wasted on DOGE, and I yield back.
I think